At this point in the program, I'm called upon to introduce a speaker whose friendship I have cultivated over a number of years. This speaker was once a student of mine, and I'm proud to say that he did very well in all of my classes. He went off in defense of our nation, and on one occasion, while I was in the middle of a lesson on United States history, as a matter of fact, I was teaching about one of our wars, the phone rang on my wall. And I picked up the phone, and it was the voice of our speaker on the other end. And I inquired, "Are you downstairs?" And he said, "No, I'm in Seoul." He was calling me from Seoul, Korea, just to reassure me that everything was going well in the war front in Korea. And I thank him profusely for it. But it is indeed a pleasure for me to introduce to you this young man. I call him a fine lad and a wonderful American, Patrick Morrow.
I'm never going to live that down. For most of us, deciding to enter the military was about serving our country. Once we were where we learned that putting on a uniform was about honor, selfless service, and a willingness to lay down our life if need be. For us, there is no greater honor than being able to say with pride that we wore a uniform. There is nothing better than to be able to call ourselves soldiers, Marines, sailors, and airmen. In the military, we learned what it meant to be part of a team. We learned that you put others ahead of you. While we may have had to endure countless Christmas holidays, Thanksgivings, birthdays, and anniversaries away from our loved ones, our sacrifice and sense of duty made it possible so that the citizens of our country could lay their head in peace. Like many of you, I have lost friends with whom I served with during my time in the military. The bonds I have with some of those people will never be broken. The level of attachment and bond of brotherhood you can develop with someone who had started out as a total stranger was something of a mystery when first starting in basic training. When life and death linger in most of our day-to-day operations as soldiers, we did continue to endure through the adversity, the pain, and the heartache that we felt, and we will honor our fallen brethren forevermore. The ideology is truly the ties that bind us together. Growing up, we learned manners and etiquette. As soldiers, Marines, airmen, and sailors, we learned to honor, respect, and selfless service to our country, and most of all to each other. Now as veterans, we embody those ideologies, and we are here to be an example to future generations. We gather here today to honor each other, the veterans of past wars, and for the future generations that will put that uniform on and protect our rights. Let us dare to forget the sacrifice of the men who landed on the beaches of Normandy. Let us dare to forget the men who served in a war that was forgotten by those back home, reducing the memory of the fallen to calling it a police action. Let us not forget the 58,000 plus men who gave their lives in Vietnam. Do we forget the men and women of the wars today? How do we honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice in Iraq or Afghanistan? For many of us, the war still goes on far from the battlefields of Iraq and Afghanistan. The war is a tormentor that we continue to endure day and night. As veterans, it is our duty to make sure that staple of honor, never leave a man behind, continues long after we fight our last shots. Our dedication to service must continue on throughout our lives, regardless of the paths we choose after the military. Let us continue to pay our respects to the fallen. Let us continue to help those who need it. To all my fellow veterans, very happy Veterans Day, and thank you.